Good morning. My name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. Sorry for my absence for a few days there. I was sick for the last few days with a gastric problem that started off, seemed like a minor case of food poisoning, and combined with ulcerative colitis seemed to have expanded into a mild case of peritonitis. I'm getting over it now, and just happy I didn't wind up in a hospital. Anyway, so at least I can walk without hunching over in the now. All right, so this weekend on Sunday, the Federal Reserve announced an emergency decline in the core interest rate to effectively 0%. And in the same statement, they reduced the reserve requirement for thousands of banks to zero. Zero. They can loan out any amount of money they want to loan out and not have to have one penny in reserve. You think this ain't dangerous? Okay. Yeah, that's dangerous. So, in spite of this and the announcement of more interventions by the Fed, which I'll get to in a minute, they expected the market to open on Monday down by 900 to 1,000 points because of off-market trading. The market opened on Monday down almost 3,000 points. Now, it climbed up with their intervention slightly during the day, and then it closed on Monday down almost 3,000 points. Now, the combination of interventions was 0% interest, zero reserves for thousands of banks. Between Thursday, Friday, and Monday, they pumped $1.5 trillion into the repo market. On top of that, they announced a $700 billion intervention into the Treasury, buying up Treasuries, and that was $400 billion, and then into mortgage-backed securities by $300 billion. So far, just so far, you're talking $1.5 trillion plus another $700 billion, $2.2 billion. You can't really put a number on the 0% interest rate and the 0% reserve requirement. So their purchase of more treasuries brings the Federal Reserve balance sheet to $4.5 trillion. What does that mean? Well, when the Federal Reserve buys up U.S. Treasuries, what that means is that the government owes the Federal Reserve $4.5 trillion. That is an additional $4.5 trillion in debt by the federal government. What has been done to help people during this crisis, nothing. There's nothing happening to help them. You know, if you took, what would be better uses for this money? I mean, as of today, the market opened down, and the last I looked, it was up by 400 points, which is less than 1%. It's as of 9:55 a.m. today, 3/17. The market dropped below 20,000. I'm not expecting it. It's barely staying above 20 right now. It's just barely staying above 20. And most of that, I haven't heard what kind of interventions the Fed is engaging in today, but you can bet that there's something going on there. And then you got ETFs called exchange traded funds, which I just call them electronically traded funds or electronically manipulated funds, because their purpose is mass large investors put lots of money together into this fund that is run by an algorithm, or whatever algorithm. There's like 1,800 of them, and they're actually nicknamed market makers. And they're meant to maintain a profit or keep the stocks, whatever, stocks, bonds, what have you, keep them trading at near asset value, which who determines what the asset value is? It's ridiculous. So what would be better uses for this money? The 1.5 trillion alone that they used and burned off in 3 trading days would be enough to pay off every student loan in the country all at once. That would have a long-term economic positive impact, because you would have millions of Americans that no longer had that debt that they could turn around and actually spend in the economy. It would help the economy for years. We can't afford, universal health care, but we can spend, 4.5, but we can go in debt $4.5 trillion to bail out whatever. It's not going to affect most Americans. So all of these things put together, and it keeps growing and keeps growing. And this is on top of months of the Fed bailing out the repo market. What does this do for us? It doesn't do anything for us. We need to all start, especially now that so many people are out of school and out of work, start writing, start calling your representatives and tell them they need to divert this money and bail out the people. If Wall Street's going to fail, let Wall Street fail. You know what that does? It opens the door for tens, hundreds of thousands of small businesses. It downsizes corporations so that they don't have control over our economy, over our pay, over our benefits, over our legislation, over our lives. This is a good thing. We need to see the corporations fall. We need to see this money diverted to the American people to help us. You know, if the Walmart down the street closes, your life will not end. Trust me, it's not going to happen. Somebody will be opening a new grocery store. Maybe a new Piggly Wiggly, which are all locally owned. So, you know, this is ridiculous to keep letting the corporations, keep cheering for the corporations, and be afraid of them falling. The only people right now that are afraid of what is happening on Wall Street right now are the people that are still invested in it. I've been telling people to get out of the market for a long, long time. I've been saying this was going to happen, and it was going to happen in some way, coronavirus or no coronavirus. Anyway, we can't afford to keep bailing out Wall Street. We're not bailing out human beings. We're bailing out the rich. No more of it. Like I said, this turned into an ATM for the rich people. The Fed puts money in, the rich people take the money out. It's not working. It has never worked. It never will work. There is no way in which it could work. Okay? All right, so that's it for this one. I'll be doing another video later. Maybe after I go get my hair cut. I hope I can find a barber shop that is open. And anyway, I will talk to you later. You have a good day.